Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with another weekly reading vlog. So let's hope this one is a little bit longer than last week's. I think last week's came in at under 20 minutes. New record for me. But I am going to try and update a bit more. I feel a lot better than I have been over the last few weeks, which is great. Got up, got showered this morning, actually blow dried my hair, which is something I haven't done in a long time. I sort of had the energy to do so. I sat on the edge of the tub and did it, so I wasn't standing, but still. I'm starting to feel a little bit more like myself again, which is great. So Garrett and I ran out this morning to Tim Hortons. I am not a Tim Hortons person. As a Canadian, I do not care for their coffee. I worked there for 4 years, and it's just not been a thing for me. But back then, I really didn't drink coffee like I do now. I do prefer McDonald's, but they do have the roll up the rim contest is happening now. So there's an app on your phone, for those of you who are not Canadian who don't know that this is a thing. There's an app on your phone, and you scan the app when you place your order, and then you get your coffees. And for any hot drink, like Garrett got like a tea and a French vanilla, it's what he likes, and I actually got a medium coffee. You get a roll, so you could win like gift certificates, you could win points, you could win free coffee or free sandwiches and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, I'll get a coffee this morning because I didn't feel like going to McDonald's as well. It's icy outside today. Like, we've actually got like a freezing rain warning, which is fun. My birthday on yesterday, Sunday, it was, I think it got over 15 or 16 degrees Celsius. For my American friends, it's like 30, like around 60, 65 degrees it went up to yesterday. And today we have freezing rain and a chance of snow. So, so anyway, I figured I'd get a coffee with the, because I didn't feel like driving all over the place, that with the right amount of creamer, it tastes fine. Sure, it is what it is. It's fine. So I am going to be filming another video. You guys will have already seen it, but I have a birthday book haul that I realized I got a bunch of books over the last few weeks, and I wanted to share those with you guys. So that video will have already been up, but if you did not see it, go ahead and check last week's videos, and I'm sure it'll be there. But I did not get a lot of reading done this weekend. Like I said, my birthday was on Saturday, and I just really had a really lazy day on Saturday. I didn't get any reading done until the very end of the day when I listened to maybe a half an hour of my audiobook. And then yesterday was kind of another lazy day. I mean, last week at work, because I was back to work working from home, and I'm going to be doing that again this week as well. It was tiring, you guys, really, really tiring. It might not seem like, a lot, you're sitting at home, but it's a lot of, because I spent all day talking to people, and it was a tiring week. So, I'm glad to kind of be feeling a little bit better now. So this week should not be as bad, which is a good thing. So what am I currently reading? So I am about 80% of the way through. My goal is to actually finish this book today. Is Stranger on a Skein by Anne Candino, I believe is how you say her name. So there's the cover that I borrowed this from my library, but I did originally have an e-art copy from NetGalley, but it expired and I didn't download it to my Kindle, so I borrowed it from the library. And I don't have a lot to say about this cozy mystery. It is, I think, the 15th book in the Black Sheep and Company mystery. So it's about a woman named Maggie. The whole premise is like Maggie and her friends are the amateur sleuths, and Maggie runs a knitting shop in this very small little town in New England. I don't know what state in New England, but somewhere in New England. And they're on the water, wherever they are. And what happens is that a local business owner, he's a farmer, he had a booth at this farmer's market type place. He ends up dying. He was found in his barn. It looks like he committed suicide. And Phoebe, who works with Maggie, she's younger, she's like college age. Maggie's a bit older, and she actually got the phone call that she got the booth that this Jimmy guy who passed away, that he had run. So she sells handmade socks and stuff like that. So then all these weird things start happening at this farmer's market. This other vendor ends up dying. So this is like the whole story, kind of an idea. I won't get too much more into it. I will talk about it tomorrow because I do plan on getting it done today. And I like it. I'm not loving it. So we'll see what happens at the end. I have a feeling where this story is going, so we will see if I'm right. And yeah, I will report back to you guys tomorrow on this one. And then my current audiobook, like I said, I did not get a lot read on this one. I started this one actually on Friday. I should have been done it by now because it's a favorite author of mine. It's a favorite series of mine, but I have not finished it yet. I still have 6 hours left on it. And that is The Unseen by Heather Graham. I am listening to this on Scribed. Yeah, this is the 5th book in the Crew of Hunters series. I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And yeah, I mean, this one takes place in Texas, just outside the Alamo, and it is about these women who are going missing and ending up dead. And all their manners of death are different, but they still think it's a serial killer. So because this is the 5th book in the series, the first 4 books featured around the original 6 characters in the Crew of Hunters, the 6 that you meet in book 1 in Phantom Evil. So now you're getting new characters, new members of the Crew of Hunters, and this is going to be the way that the series is going to continue. That constantly each book or every few books you're going to get new characters, but you can read these completely out of order. You don't have to read them in any kind of order. I'm just rereading through the series because I love it so much. So this is book number 5, The Unseen. And I'll talk more about this one. Maybe I'll get this one done today. I don't know. We shall see how busy we are at work. And, that's pretty much about it. So that's all I have for today's clip, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You can see it's just looking so dark in here because of the weather. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday. Today is the 8th of March, and it is just before 11 o'clock in the morning. I am just getting logged on for work, so I thought I would sit down and have a very quick chat with you guys to let you know that I finished a book yesterday and talk to you about what I'm currently reading. Sorry, I apologize, don't mean to yawn. Surprisingly, last night was one of the first nights I've had a really good night's sleep in a while. It's been difficult, being, of course, in the hospital and then coming home. It's kind of very discombobulating in a way. There's still, to be honest with you guys, a lot of paranoia that I'm going to fall back into that fast rhythm again, that fast heart rate again. And, you can't help but think I'm going to end, you're going to end up back in hospital. I think it goes with anybody who's spent any time in a medical kind of scenario like that you're afraid it's going to happen again. To the point where I actually had stopped wearing my Fitbit for a long time, for weeks, because I wasn't wearing it at all in hospital. And I only just over the last day or so started wearing it again at home. I've been home almost 2 weeks now, because if I just felt off, I would immediately be staring at the heart rate part of the Fitbit. So, it takes some time. It's going to be okay. I think it's the fear, because that was one of the worst experiences I've had in terms of how long I was in hospital. And, typically if I go into that fast rhythm, that wouldn't be the case of where I was and what happened. So it was an anomaly in a way, right? But it still kind of weighs on you just a little bit. So, but anyway, I actually called my family doctor's office yesterday to book an appointment to talk to her, because they wanted me to follow up with her just to make sure everything is healing properly. And I was talking to the secretary, and I kind of told her, she's like, why are you coming in? And I explained, that I had a pacemaker put in a couple weeks ago, and the hospital wants me to follow up with my family doctor. And she said, oh, you're in a very cheerful mood. And I've had other people comment that to me as well, but I'm not one to sit and be depressed. Life's too short for that. Do you know what I mean? I've always been a glasses half full kind of person. For me to mope around and be sad about what happened, that's not my personality, luckily. And I'm not knocking anyone who would feel that way, because it's very, very valid, but it's not me. And then on that side too, just because I'm cheerful and I can joke doesn't mean that this did not affect me greatly. It does not mean that it terrified me. It does not mean that I'm fearful. It just means that that's how I deal with it. You know what I mean? So I just found it odd that I've had a couple of people mention that to me. Oh, you're in a very, very good mood about the whole thing. You know, what else am I supposed to do? Like, this is just who I am. You know what I mean? Anyway, complete side note. Sorry about that. So I finished a book yesterday, you guys. I finished reading Strangers on a Skein by Anne Canandro, I think is the author's name. This is the 12th book in the Black Sheep and Company mystery series. It's a cozy mystery series. I did have this from NetGalley, so thank you very much to the publisher and to NetGalley for sending me an eARC copy to read and review. I did not download the eARC copy, or I had at one point, or maybe I deleted it from my Kindle. I don't know. But I ended up borrowing a copy on an e-copy from the library, and it took me about a week to finish. I didn't love this one. I gave it 3.5 stars. So, I mean, that's not a horrible rating, but it's not like a great rating. And essentially my issue with this is that at the beginning of it, I just was not interested. So the plot of the story is that there's this like farmer's market in this small town on the New England coast. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. And Phoebe, who's one of our main characters, she has a stall there selling her socks. And she got the stall because the person who had the stall before her, this older gentleman named Jimmy, died. And it appears that he committed suicide. And then it comes out that no, maybe he was murdered. So, you know, the story kind of very slowly goes from there. There's a large cast of characters in this book. And I mean, like I said, it is 12 in a series. But to be completely honest, I've never read any of the other ones in the series, and I was perfectly okay following along. They do kind of talk about other books that had happened before. So you've got like 5 main characters. You've got Maggie, who's like our main amateur sleuth, if you will. And she runs this knit shop, the Black Sheep and Company knit shop in this small town. And then there's like Suzanne, Dana, and Lucy, who are like friends of hers, knitting friends. And then Phoebe, who also works in the store with her, while also now having this booth in this farmer's market. The thing that got me on this one is that I didn't find that they were really very much an amateur sleuth group. Like Maggie, our main character, is engaged to a former police detective. Dana, one of the other ladies, her husband is an attorney. So everything that they found, I mean, the clues were very, very minor. You know, and they presented them to the police, and of course it cracks the case wide open. There's another woman who's murdered. I mean, it was, as the story progressed, it got a lot better. But the beginning of it just kind of, I felt like it dragged for me. Will I pick up other books in this series? Possibly, yes. I like the knitting aspect of it. My thing is, and this is just a little qualm that I have with cozy mysteries. So, I read a lot of like knitting related cozies because of course I am an avid knitter. Actually, I'll show you guys that while I'm sitting here too. Whoops. I am an avid knitter. I'm an avid cross stitcher, so I don't crochet, but I love to knit. So I love reading knitting related cozy mysteries. The thing that I find though, like this one was a prime example. It's a knitting related cozy, but yet there are recipes in the back, like for foodstuffs. They did have a knitting pattern. Like it gave you a website link to go and get this like free sock pattern because they talk in the book about knitting socks, which was fine. But in my opinion, like for example, in this book, there's a scene where a person comes into the knitting store and they're knitting a sweater for a new grandbaby, and she shows her like all these different baby sweater patterns. It would be so great if like the author commissioned an actual knitwear designer to put a sweater pattern in the book for knitters. I think that would be fabulous. You know, and then eventually, like I know Hannah Swenson, like the Joanne Fluke Hannah Swenson series, eventually she put out like a Lake Eden cookbook of all of the recipes that had been included in the books. And there's a whole cookbook. Like, wouldn't it be cool, like for a long running cozy mystery series with regards to knitting or crochet or something like that, to include like 1 or 2 patterns in the back, and then to one day release like a pattern book of like, oh, here are the patterns that were included. Am I just talking because I'm a knitter? Like, I've just always found that very, very odd, and I've noticed it a lot that these cozies that tend to deal more with crafting related still have recipes in the back, which, I mean, it's fine, but it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm sure there are cozies out there that are knitting or crochet related that actually have knitting and crochet patterns in the back. I just haven't run across them yet. So yeah, so 3.5 stars. I liked it. It was cute. I will probably pick up the rest of the series. So what am I currently reading? Then I'll show you what I've kind of been knitting on for a little bit here. I haven't done any of my floss tube videos since well before I ended up in hospital. I honestly have not had the urge to sit down and film those. So just for right now, that might change. We shall see. But on audio, I am still listening to The Unseen by Heather Graham. I've got a little over 3 hours left. So I'm hoping to finish this today. So we shall see. I'm not going to talk a lot about this. I will talk about it probably tomorrow when I finish it. And then yesterday, after I finished reading that cozy mystery, I did start a Sweet Valley High just because. So I started the next book that I am reading in the Sweet Valley High series, and that is Racing Hearts by Francine Pascal. I've got it here on my Kindle. So yeah, I'm already almost 20% of the way through this. This reads very quickly. I'm hoping to finish this today or tomorrow, so we shall see. But yeah, so that's what I'm currently reading. So I will very, very quickly show you, because what I've been trying to do is the days that I'm working from home, like I'm working from home all the rest of this week. I don't know if I'm going to do it all the rest of next week as well. We're going to see how I feel. My manager's been really, really great about the whole thing. But the days that I'm working from home, I of course have some extra time in the morning. So what I'm trying to do over the last few days is add more squares to my sock yarn blanket. So for those of you who have not been watching me for a while, this is a sock yarn blanket. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is my second. My first one, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but I started this back in December, and I added a square tried to add a square every day in December. So I'm trying to do this one as a square. What I did with my other one is that I just started like stitching like squares all the way across, and I did like 40 of them. But now I started literally with one, and then I just keep building the square. So right now I've got 6 across, so 6 along the bottom if you want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm doing 6 up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to add 4 more here, and then what I'll do is I'll build it up here and then build it across the top again. So it'll always be a perfect square. So if at any point I want to finish it off, it'll be a perfect square. Does that make sense? Like as long as I finish a row. So these are just scraps that I have. I love doing this. They take me about 20 or 30 minutes to do a little square. And I thought if I keep up with it and try and do it the days that I'm working from home or on the weekends, adding a square every day that I'm home and not having to travel into the office, you know, I should get some good progress done on this. So that's what I've been working on actually over the last few days, guys. I haven't really been cross-stitching. I haven't really been knitting on anything else either. Just been kind of looking at this and just doing a bunch of reading and booktube watching. So anyway, guys, I am rambling. This vlog is clearly going to be longer than last week's. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Today is the 9th of March, and it is about 10:45 in the morning. I'm just getting myself logged onto my work computer so I can start work in a little bit, but I thought I would jump on and say hi and let you guys know that about a book that I finished yesterday. So reading has been really good the last week or so, and I'm very, very happy about that. So of course I'm also reading something else, so I will share with you also what I am currently reading. But in the meantime, bear with me just a second here. So like I said, I finished a book yesterday. So yesterday I finished reading The Unseen by Heather Graham. This is the 5th book in the Crew of Hunters series. Not one of my favorites in the series, but I am rereading through the series. So of course, you know, I've talked about this with this series before, and it's the same with any long-running series. For anyone who reads like a series that has like 20 or 30 books in it, you're going to have some books that aren't quite as good as other ones. So this one takes place in Texas near the Alamo, and it's about a woman named, I think her name's Kelsey. Sorry, I started another book since I read this one, and I think it's Kelsey and Logan are our 2 main characters. And she is a U.S. Marshal, and he is a Texas Ranger. Like an actual like Texas Ranger, not like a baseball player. Is the Texas Rangers like still a team? Are they a hockey team? I don't know. I only know baseball. I know there's the Houston Astros. But anyway, so this friend of Kelsey's named Sandy buys this place called the Longhorn Saloon or something, which is a very storied, it's been around since the time of the Alamo. This kind of started out as a saloon, and, it was a place, like it was a brothel for a while. And so anyway, the thing with the Crew of Hunter series is that it always deals with ghosts. So there are always ghosts that kind of help with the solving of the mystery. But what I do love about this series is that it's not the ghosts that commit the crime. It's people. It's actual people who do stuff. And, but the ghosts are there kind of to help. And I always really, really like that. So anyway, there's these girls who have been murdered. There's this missing diamond called the Galveston Diamond, which is this huge diamond. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars, narrated on audio by Luke Daniels. He narrates, as far as I know, he narrates all of the Crew of Hunter series, and he's really, really good, especially with Southern accents and things like that. I like it quite a bit. So, I'm actually going to talk about this. I will have already talked about this in a video, I'm sure, because I'm either going to film it later today, depending on the lighting at lunchtime, or tomorrow. And about the Crew of Hunter series and how it works. Because a lot of people, especially with a long-running series, are like, especially if they've never picked these books up, are like, do I have to start at the beginning? Not necessarily with this series, in my opinion. Because the series is written almost in smaller series. So you've got the entirety of the Crew of Hunter series, which is like 38 books now or something like that. But they're kind of broken down. So you've got the first 4 books were kind of like one grouping of characters. Then you get this next grouping, and it starts out with the unseen, then it goes, I've just got my notes over here. The unholy, the unspoken, and the uninvited are kind of like another grouping, and they're kind of labeled out that way with the way that they're titled. So like the next 3 books is The Night is Watching, The Night is Alive, and The Night is Forever. So that's another little like trilogy. Is that a trilogy or a quartet? Yeah. And then you've got the curse, the hex, the betrayed. So then it goes into like 3 books, 3 books, 3 books. And typically the way that they are released is they come out over the course of the summer. So like May, June, July, or May, July, August, September, or something like that. But they usually come out like back to back to back over the course of around the spring or summertime. So if you wanted to pick them up, you could just ask if you're curious. Like if there's a book that looks good to you, you're like, okay, what grouping is this? And I'll do my best to try and, because it doesn't lay it out that way, but it kind of does with the way like that the books are titled. Then the next, it's like The Silent, The Forgotten, The Hidden, Haunted Destiny, Deadly Fate, Darkest Journey. You know what I mean? Like they kind of, the way they're titled. Anyway. So that is that. I finished it. I enjoyed it. When I started listening to it, I was like, what was this one about again? Because, I mean, I've read all these before, right? And I did remember the killer in this one towards the end. I'm like, oh, yes, I remember where this one goes. So, yeah, enjoyable. It was fun. I read it. I liked it. I got my coffee this morning. I did stop at Starbucks this morning because my lovely sister-in-law and brother and sister-in-law, and niece and nephew got me a Starbucks card for my birthday. So I just added it to my my app, and I stopped at Starbucks this morning. So that was good. I got that coffee. So yeah, I didn't sleep that great last night. I have good nights and bad nights, dealing with some pain and stuff like that. Nothing too major, just uncomfortable when you're trying to sleep. And I think I've mentioned it before, like trying to sleep on the one side, it's difficult to do. So anyway, what am I currently reading? So I am still reading, and I hope to finish today on my Kindle, Racing Hearts by Francine Pascal, which is book number 9 in the Sweet Valley High series. I am not going to talk about this one right now. I'll talk about it tomorrow because I will get this one done today. If I just read this over my lunch break, I can finish it in about a half an hour. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that done. But then I started a little bit yesterday and read a bit more of it today. I started Law and Disorder by Heather Graham, which is the first book in the Finnegan Connection series. And this is a Harlequin intrigue novel. The entire audiobook is like 5 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. So I'm already almost a quarter of the way through it. It's not taking me very long to listen to at all. And I am enjoying it. Unlike the Crew of Hunters series, this is definitely much more of a mystery. I would like to get this done today. I've got about 4 hours left on it, so we shall see how busy today ends up being at work and how much admin type stuff I have to do. So we shall see how that goes. But I'll talk about this one more. Again, it's a shorter book, so I'm probably going to finish it today or tomorrow, so there's no point in me really going into it now. I'll wait till I finish the book to really get into what it's about. But yeah, so I am reading that one. It is for Heather Graham March, as Brie and I and Erin are calling it on the Categorically Romance podcast. For our book club, if you want to participate, just read any Heather Graham category romance, and we're going to discuss them all towards the end of the month. So that's it, you guys. I gotta go. I gotta get logged on to work, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Morning, friends. Happy Thursday. Today is the 10th of March, and it is just before work. I am coming to you, as I've been doing every day this week, to share with you my reading update. And I just realized my rings were off my hands because I was doing the dishes downstairs earlier. I do take my rings off when I do the dishes. I hate nothing more than getting water underneath. So anyway, put them in my pocket. So I have 2 books that I finished, you guys, that I wanted to share with you. So one I actually finished yesterday afternoon on lunch, as I predicted. And then the other one I just finished this morning. So I'll start with the one from yesterday. I finished reading Racing Hearts by Francine Pascal, Kate William, whoever the actual author of the Sweet Valley series was. This was the 9th book in the Sweet Valley High series. This one was fun. I mean, very, very much a class type story where our main character, Roger, he's in love with Lila, as you can see on the cover here. He comes from a very poor family. His mother, due to health reasons, can't work, so he works after school and on weekends cleaning an office building. So he's a janitor. Nothing wrong with that. A job is a job is a job, as I like to say. But in the world of Sweet Valley, that's, oh no, who would want to be a janitor? So anyway, it turns out there's going to be this big race, and the winner of the race gets a scholarship to Sweet Valley College. And of course, Roger would have no way of being able to go to college because of financial reasons unless he got some sort of a scholarship. So it ends up that he's quite fast with racing, so he joins this race, and Lila thinks he's now just the cat's pajamas, and the story kind of goes from there. It was fun. I mean, it is what it, as I say about these Sweet Valley books, that they're fun. There's this whole other side plot with Jessica wanting to work in her father's law office because she thinks it's very glamorous. But of course, like anywhere else, you start at the bottom in the mailroom, kind of collating, photocopying, stuff like that. And then she ends up starting this like relationship with this guy across the hall who works for his father's office, and then there's a whole thing with that. And yeah, so I mean, it was fun. This was a relatively quick read. I mean, if I had just sat down and read it, I probably could have read it in less than 2 hours, but I took my time with it over a couple of days, and yeah, I mean, it was fun. As I've mentioned with the Babysitters Club and stuff like that, I have read all of these. However, it's been a long time, and for like the first 5 or 6 books in the Sweet Valley series, I've read multiple times. But I think it was just after book 7 that I kind of didn't read them. I've only read them once. So this was a first time reread for me. And of course, I didn't necessarily remember what happened, but you can kind of guess. It's Sweet Valley. And what I do like about these is that soap opera-esque part of it where at the end of the story, you get this like illusion of what's going to happen in the next book. And I really like that. It's like kind of like find out what happens next. And I always found that to be a lot of fun. And I thought, great marketing for these books. Because then, because, I got to go and get the next book because I got to find out what's going to happen. So it's not a cliffhanger per se, but it's kind of a tease, if you will. So yeah, I think I gave this one 3 stars. It was fun. It was enjoyable. The other one that I just finished this morning was Law and Disorder by Heather Graham. This is a Harlequin intrigue novel. It is the first book in the Finnegan Connection series. I gave this 3.5 stars. And I liked it. I listened to it on audio. Not one of my absolute favorites, but I did enjoy it. I actually, surprisingly, I think I like the cover more than anything on this one. I like the color scheme and that kind of shack in the middle of nowhere. So this story takes place in the Florida Everglades, and it is about a woman by the name of Cody, or Dakota, like Cody, short for Dakota. And I think his name is Jake. I just finished the book and I can't remember Jake. And he's an FBI agent, but he is undercover with this gang of thieves. And they are all, like, they break into this. This story has now been republished. If you're looking for it online, it's called Hostage at Crystal Manor, I think. But it's not very old. It only came out 7 or 8 years ago, I think. But they've republished it under a new name. I don't know why. I kind of liked Law and Disorder. But anyway, so these thieves break into this Crystal Manor place, take Cody hostage, because they think she can find where this hidden treasure is, if you will. And this gang is all dressed like and using the names of old gangsters like Dillinger, Floyd, stuff like that, right? And they kidnap her, but Jake, who is also one of the gang, they don't know that he's an FBI agent. She met him before, years ago in New York City. So that's kind of the plot of the story, is that they're looking for this treasure in the Florida Everglades. And classic Heather Graham, like, this story is very different from The Crew of Hunters in terms of there's no paranormal aspect to this story. It's literally a cops and robbers type of scenario. But you can really see Heather Graham's writing come through on this one with the history of the Florida Everglades. And, like, she loves to put history in all of her books. And that's... I haven't started yet, so I still have a few minutes before that phone rings. Sorry, give me just 1 second here, guys. So that's one thing that always shines through and the one thing that I really like. So this is a shorter story. I mean, it is a Harlequin intrigue novel. Comes in around 224 pages. So it was just over 5 hours on it, like just over 5 hours on audio. And I liked it. I mean, it was fine. Like I said, it's the first book in the Finnegan Connection series. It's a 4-book series, and they're all intrigue novels, so they're all relatively short. They follow the original Finnegan Investigations. I can't remember what the original series was, but they all took place in New York City, about jewel thieves and stuff. They were really, really good. You don't have to have read those to read these. So essentially what it is that this is like a spin-off series of that original one, where, like, for example, Casey in this book kind of knows the Finnegan siblings from New York, and Jake is friends with the one guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of a 6 degrees of separation in a way kind of scenario. So yeah, so I like this one. It was fine. It was enjoyable. So what am I reading right now? I haven't started it yet, but I am very, very excited. I will be starting today. Karma Moon Ghost Hunter, and this is by Melissa Savage. It is a middle grade book. This is for middle grade March. I had put this on my list to read last March for middle grade March and never got around to it. And I actually did get a copy on audio, so I'm very excited. It's paranormal. Like, I think her dad's a ghost hunter. I don't know too much about it, but I'm excited to start this one today. I have it, like I said, on audio. And yesterday, when I finished the Sweet Valley book in the afternoon, I started reading a book I got from the library, and it's called Murder at Lambswool Farm by Sally Goldenbaum. This is, I think, the 11th book in the Seaside Cafe, or a Seaside Knitters Mystery series. Now, I've read this author before, I think. She writes several different series, so I don't know too much about this one. I'm like 16 pages into it. And so far, it's about this guy who, the whole series takes place in Massachusetts, on the coast of Massachusetts, in some small little community. And one of our main characters has bought a farm, like literally bought a farm, not died, bought a farm. And they're all knitters. And I guess they have this dinner and some guy dies, and that's kind of the plot. So I'll update you guys more as I go through this one, but it looked really cute. I know it's 11th in the series. I haven't read the first 10, but it's a cozy, so we'll see what I think about it. But anyway, guys, that is about all that I have for today. Just going to get to work, and that's about it. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hey friends, so coming to you, it is still Thursday. I am about to go on lunch, and I thought I'd show you guys what I'm doing on my lunch. I showed you my crafting the other day, that I was working on my sock yarn blanket, and I did do some work on a cross-stitch project, my birthday start, as I'm calling it. I will try to remember to show you guys that one tomorrow. But I decided to work on my sweater today. Actually, I have like I do for my books, a spin the wheel of all of my crafting projects. And I spin it every couple days, and then I work on the project for a couple of days. So on my lunch break today, and then tonight after work too, I'm going to be working on my sweater. There's not much to see here, you guys. This is The Weekender by Drea Renee Knits. Actually, when I'm done filming this, I'll turn the camera around and show you the picture on my computer of what the finished sweater looks like. So this is like really oversized, and I'm knitting it bottom up. So it's kind of hard to see. But what I thought I would do is, the reason I wanted to come on camera is because I moved my little marker here. So see that little marker right there? So that's where I'm starting. So I thought for the next couple of days, I would, like today's Thursday, so I'll be working on this today and tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. And then maybe on Saturday morning, I will show you guys how far I got. Because the thing is, I need to knit 15 inches of the body before I get to like just under the arms. And then I would put the sleeves in. So I thought by putting the marker in there, it might make it feel like I'm going a little bit like I'm actually making progress. When you've got to do 15 inches or something like that of a sweater, it's always kind of the best thing to do. So that is what I'm crafting on today. And I did start listening to the Karma Moon Ghost Hunter, guys. It is adorable so far. I'm loving it. So I'll talk more about it tomorrow because I'm on lunch and I'm hungry and I want to eat my sandwich and I want to do some knitting, and I will probably check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Sorry, so as promised, here is the sweater. So it's called The Weekender, again by Drea Renee Knits. This is just the pattern. I have it in my Google Drive. But as you can see, it's really, really oversized. I really love the look of it. It just looks like a great like throw over, literally a weekend sweater. So I love it so much, and I'm so happy to be picking it back up again. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hi guys, happy Friday. Yay! Today is the 11th of March, and as I said, it's Friday. It is just before 9 a.m., so I'm coming to you a little bit earlier than I normally would, mainly because I am working 9 to 5 today, not my usual 11 till 7. I am the only one in the customer care department today. My one coworker is on vacation, the other one has a day off, so I am covering all the bases, which is absolutely fine because, well, I spent 2 weeks in hospital. They did it for me, so fair is fair. They all deserve a break as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, like I said, just before 9, I wanted to jump on before I started work today. I have not much to share with you work-wise, goodness, reading-wise, because I did not finish anything yesterday. But I did want to mention, because I mentioned in a little clip that I wanted to show you the crafting that I have been doing. So I'll show you the sweater tomorrow, because I did get quite a bit of work done on it yesterday, which was great. Cheers, having my morning coffee. And, but I did start a new cross-stitch project that I'm going to be working on throughout the course of the month. So I will, this is my birthday start, as I'm calling it. So essentially on my birthday, I picked a new pattern that I wanted to cross stitch, and I had picked this out like late last year because I bought the fabric for this just before Christmas, and I got the pattern just before my birthday last weekend. And then on Saturday, on my birthday, my husband and I went over to Michael's, and I actually got all the floss that I needed to do the pattern. So this is from a company called Autumn Lane Stitchery. They are like one of my favorite cross-stitch designers. And the pattern is called Bewitched. And if you guys have watched me for a while, you know that I am a big fan of all things Halloween, and I love witches and stuff like that. So when I saw this pattern, I just was so thrilled. So I actually bought the called for fabric, like the fabric that is actually used. So this is going to be a big piece. She's big, but I think she's just gorgeous. I just love the design. I just think it looks spectacular. So yeah, so that's what I started. Now I started it on my birthday, but I really wasn't much into stitching over the weekend, but I did get a lot put in this on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So it doesn't look like much. There's not much to see here, but hold on. Can I bring back up the picture? Did I say yes? Okay. So where I am, if you look to the one side of her skirt, you can see that tree. Sorry, but you can see the tree, right? So that's essentially what this is. These are the tree branches. So that's where I've started. So like I said, this is going to be a larger piece. So there is the fabric. So yeah, so far I am enjoying it. It's a fun stitch. I like it a lot. The fabric I'm using, in case anyone is curious, is from a company called Picture This Plus, and it's called Stormy, and then I'm using all the called for floss. And I've got my little needle keeper here that says 3 broomsticks. It's a takeoff, of course, of Starbucks, right? You know, the Starbucks logo. So I think it's kind of cute. So yeah, so that's what I have been working on cross-stitch wise, but I will be switching it up throughout the month. I work on stuff for a couple of days and then switch to something else. Not that I get bored, but you know, I have so many cross-stitch projects on the go that I like to kind of rotate them. So let's get into what I have. Sorry for leaning off camera, you guys. What I have been reading. Yesterday I started Karma Moon Ghost Hunter by Melissa Savage on audio, and guys, this is delightful. It is a middle grade story about a girl, and her dad is a documentary filmmaker, and he gets hired by Netflix to go to the estate where The Shining, is it an estate or a hotel? The Stanley Hotel, is that what it's called in Colorado? Is it Estes Park, Colorado? But to do like a ghost hunting documentary for Netflix. So she goes along with her friend, and it's really cute. There's kind of a lot of other things going on. Her mother walked out on the family a few years before. She talks to a therapist. She deals with a lot of anxiety issues and what ifs, as she calls them, like what if this happens, what if that happens. And I feel for her in that aspect. I have a lot of what ifs myself. So it is really, really good. I'm hoping to finish it today. I have a little over, just a little under 5 hours left on it. So I should get this done today, hopefully, and I will report back tomorrow my final thoughts on it. And then so that kind of ties in for both March Mystery Madness and Middle Grade March, because it's a bit of a mystery with this whole ghost thing. But the other one is specifically a March Mystery Madness book, and this is Murder at Lamb's Wolf Farm. I am that far into it now. You guys can see that's my bookmark, and that's the beginning of the book. Murder hasn't taken place yet. I don't have a lot to report on this one, to be completely honest, because nothing's really happened yet. I mean, this is the 11th in the series, and the one thing, though, is that you get, in this book, let me show you. So she gives you a cast of characters that is 1, 2, 3, 4 pages long. So as someone who's new to the series, it's kind of nice to jump into that and have a look at it. But I'm in no way lost. Like, she's very well describing who is who and how they are related to who. And, you know, you've got your 4 central characters who go to this knit shop. But I'm just waiting for the murder to happen now, so I will report back tomorrow. I'm hoping to get this done by the end of the weekend. So we shall see. But yeah, so that is what I am currently reading in print copy. So that's about all that I have, you guys, today. Nothing too terribly interesting. Like I said, working 9 till 5 today. Tonight, Garrett and I are going to do pizza for dinner, which I'm very, very excited about. And I think I'm going to treat myself to a Starbucks as well. And I am working tomorrow. I think I mentioned that. I'm working 9 till 2 tomorrow. But then I have the rest of the weekend to do nothing. And we are springing forward tomorrow. And I am done with daylight savings time. I don't mind the fall, because you kind of gain an hour, right, when you fall back. But this spring forward thing, so not only am I working for 5 hours on Saturday, I'm also losing an hour, which sucks. So it is what it is. And the cats don't listen to what time it is for daylight savings time. They want to be fed, and they want to be fed now. And they wake up my poor husband, so that's never a good thing. But anyway, I'm rambling, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Yay! More snow. Exactly what we wanted and needed. It's not going to accumulate to anything, though. I don't think it's going to really stay on the ground. But, you know, maybe one last hurrah for this winter. That would be fabulous. I do really love the snow, though, to be honest. So, but anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys. So here I was talking away about the snow for like a minute to realize that I didn't hit the record button on the phone. It's about 5 o'clock at night. As you guys can see, we got a lot more snow than I thought. I didn't think we were supposed to get this much snow, but if you can see the street right there, it's covered. So Garrett and I are supposed to be going for pizza for dinner, so we might want to go do that now. But yeah, it looks super, super pretty. I'm loving it. Yeah, so pretty, but it's time for pizza now. Hi friends, happy Saturday. Today is the 12th of March and it is about 8:30 in the morning. This may be the final clip for this vlog because I don't anticipate doing much else today. I don't anticipate finishing any books today. So I might take you guys with me to the library this afternoon because that's where I'm going. I have 2 books to return and there's 2 books that I want to pick up that I would like to read this month. We'll see if we ever actually get to them. I never did. I think this is the first time in a long time that I did not do a TBR, but I have like an insane amount of books on my TBR, something like 50. I am not getting to all of them. In January, I read like 13 books. In February, I read 10, which are both great, great, great numbers. But I just, like I said, a lot of people are mood readers. And for me, it's like I take this like huge amount of physical and digital books that I own and I curate it down to a more manageable number, if you will, from like 5,000 down to 50. And then from there, I kind of not mood read, but, you know, read what I want to read. So I've actually got 3 books started right now. I started 2 new books yesterday, so I'll get into that in just a minute. But it's Saturday morning. I do have to work today. I think I mentioned that. I work from 9 until 2, but I'm making up some time because I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I have used up all of my sick days and all of my vacation days for the year. Well, until year end, our fiscal whatever, it rolls over on July 1st. So on July 1st, I'll get back, if you will, my vacation days and stuff like that. And then I have that year from July 1st to June 30th, blah, 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 blah. But I do have 2 doctor's appointments, of course, in April. So I need to make up some time so I can take the time off to go to them. So anyway, that and they do need somebody on the weekends. And, you know, really, it's not that big a deal. I get to sit here at home and work and it's fine. I don't mind it because it's quieter and it allows me to get stuff done that typically on a Monday would be very busy and I wouldn't get a chance to get that done. Does that make sense? So yeah, but I wanted to show you guys some mail first. All this came the other day and I meant to show you and I totally forgot. But I got, first of all, I got a couple of cross-stitch related stuff in the mail. And the first one from a company called Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which I love. They have these most adorable needle minders. So, do I have anything magnetic? I'm sure I do. Yeah, I do. Will this work? No, that's not magnetic. It won't work. What about this? Okay, that'll work. So, it's a needle minder. So, what it is it's got a magnet on the back, and then he's a magnet. So what you do is you put them on your cross stitch. You've probably seen them if I've shown you guys my cross stitch before. And then when you're stitching, if you have your needle and you just need to put your needle aside so you don't lose it, you just essentially, you know, it just magnetizes to it. But I really love the toucan. I thought it was so, so cute. So I ordered that. Caterpillar Cross Stitches in the UK. They do some amazing patterns. There's a pattern I want to start that this goes with, and it's called Hello Sunshine. And it's a tree, and it's got like a toucan in it, and then all these like really summery flowers. And there's a, what's the word I'm looking for? A flamingo there as well. Their patterns are really cute. They've got a stitch along starting on April 1st, I think, and it goes for 5 months. So it's a mystery. You don't know what the final piece is going to look like, but it's Halloween related, and I might just save up. I get a bonus pay at the end of the month from work, so I might take part of that and buy like the whole kit, so I get like the yarn or the floss and the fabric and the needle minder and the whole thing for it. So I'm very excited. But yeah, that came in the mail. And then the other thing that I got was a new pattern, new cross stitch pattern. These patterns are only available physically, and I'm a little annoyed. I do prefer my patterns digital, but it is what it is. So this finally came. It was back ordered, and it's from a company called Cottage Garden Needleworks, and the pattern is called the Fox. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. So this is the first in a series of 12, and it's called A Year in the Woods. So it's A Year in the Woods #1. The pattern I'm not going to show you guys. Patterns on the inside. So yeah. So that is just stunning. My friend Mandy stitched it and it looks amazing. I bought the fabric for it, so I hope to start that at some point soon. I was going to do it now in March, but I haven't, like, I've been wanting to craft now, but like the first week or so in March, I really wasn't in the mood, so I just didn't bother, right? So anyway, so I got that, so I'm very, very happy to have that pattern. I'll put that over there for right now. And then I got a care package in the mail. I'm not going to say who this is from, but you know who you are. So thank you so much. She sent the most delightful package. She messaged me on Instagram and she's like, I just want to send you a little care package. And I'm like, well, that's so sweet. So she sent me, first of all, a card, and the card is just like, come on. I love it. I love the card so much. It's going to go up on my shelf because I just love it. So yeah, I just think that that is adorable. She also sent me a gift certificate to Starbucks. So I thank you this morning because that's where I stopped on my way when I ran out this morning. So yay. So the card and the Starbucks gift card. And then she sent me Peeps. I love Peeps. Love Peeps. And I've loved Peeps for years. They are like my favorite thing ever. And then she sent me some books, and I think these probably came from like a little free library or something that she has, but I love it. I don't care. Used books I am happy with. You know me. I obviously love, love, love used books. Hey, what's this? Something was in here. Birmingham Rumble Ponies versus the Erie Seawolves. Monday, June 24th, 2019. Stadium box office. Okay, so this is interesting. This was just inside one of the books. So clearly someone had, okay, that's kind of fun. I got to put those aside and see what that pertained to. I think that's just adorably fun. So here are the books that she sent me. So this one is The Prodigal Cowboy by Kathleen Eagle. This is part of the Home on the Ranch series. So these are reprints, to my understanding. These are all Harlequin books that she sent me. These are all reprints. So this is a, let me just actually, I've got the computer up here. I'm just curious. Fiction database will tell me. CTIONDB.com. Because this every time I see these, I'm always really interested as to where the original came from. Like what series it was from, what line. Kathleen Eagle. There it is. So this was originally, I thought so, a special edition novel, number 2209, which was originally published in September of 2012. So obviously a cowboy book. They have republished these, a lot of these, as these Home on the Ranch books. And I just think that that is so much fun. I love it. Thank you so much. I am happy to get to that one. I just want to see if there's, okay, there's another one of these Home on the Ranch. In a Cowboy's Arms by Rebecca Winters. I have a feeling, because I know Rebecca Winters wrote for the American Romance line. Bear with, let's find out. If I am right, if this is in fact a former American Romance. Rebecca Winters. And God, I'm good. It's like I know what I'm doing. Harlequin American Romance number 1494 from April of 2014. But of course, republished again as this Home on the Ranch. I think these are great, especially if you missed getting them the first go round. Because the thing is with Category, of course, is that it's only available in stores for a very small period of time, like 1 month. So if you miss getting the physical edition, you would need to hunt it out either at a thrift store or online or something like that. So I love that they do reissues of these. So very exciting. So thank you again, my dear, for sending those. And then she sent me 2 older Harlequin special editions. At the time, they were silhouette special editions. Ooh, and they're like, wow, very, very close to the same time period. So this one here is Nobody's Bride by Judy Edwards. This is number 765, and this is from September of 1992. Oh, I'm so thrilled. I love, love, love older ones. Oh, this is so much fun. I just think this is awesome. So yay. Oh, can't wait to get to that one. And then the great Marie Farinella, who has written so much. This is World's Greatest Dad, also from September of 92, number 767 in that, in the, what was at the time the Silhouette Special Edition line, but this is now known as the Harlequin Special Edition line. So yeah. Oh, Love, love, love. And last but not least, a love inspired. I do love, love, love the love inspired books. These are just such sweet, like literally, these are sweet. These are Christian based romances. Janet Trownstad has written a lot of them. This is the most gorgeous spring cover. It's called Alaskan Sweethearts, and this is called North to Dry Creek, is part of that series. A Match Made in Alaska. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So thank you again. You know who you are. I really, really appreciate it. So on to the reading stuff to finish off this vlog. So I finished another book yesterday, you guys. I finished reading Karma Moon Ghost Hunter by Melissa Savage. It was delightful. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I did listen to it on audio. The audiobook was fantastic. The narrator did such a good job of all of the different characters' voices. So this is about a girl named Karma Moon who... Her dad is a documentary filmmaker, but he also does like weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff like that. They live in New York City, and he gets a call one day that Netflix wants him to do a documentary on ghosts in the, I think it's the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, like the Shining Hotel. So off they go. She brings her best friend. It's over spring break. And there's these expert ghost hunters who are there as well. And the whole thing is that the dad has to get a ghost on camera. And, you know, so Karma Moon and her friend try and help her dad. You know, Karma's also dealing with a lot of things herself. Her mother abandoned the family a year or so earlier, just packed up her suitcases and left. She is still occasionally in touch with the daughter, but not as often. Karma sees a therapist to deal with, of course, this abandonment issue that she'd be dealing with, along with she suffers a lot. And I love the way that they phrase it, the what ifs. And I feel that because I am one of those people too. I very, very much live in a, well, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And what if this happens? And you try not to do that, but you know, she's learning techniques, talking to this therapist on how to deal with that. It was a really, really fabulous middle grade book. So I read this for middle grade March. It was not specifically, I didn't read it specifically for a challenge, but it could have worked for a contemporary, which I believe is one of the challenges, because it does take place. It's a modern story. Like they both have cell phones and yada, yada, yada. Talk about Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a really fun book. I really enjoyed it. You know, every year in middle grade March, whenever I read a middle grade, you know, these novels, I hesitate throughout the year to pick them up, but then when I do in March, I'm just always so thrilled with them. So absolutely love this one. I highly, highly recommend it. It was delightful. So what am I currently reading? So let me show you what I was already reading, which was a library book. And I've got Murder at Lambswool Farm by Sally Goldenbaum. I'm not quite halfway through this one yet. I don't anticipate finishing anything today. I would like to get this one done this weekend, but we shall see. Again, as I just said, I've picked up 2 more books, and neither of them are on audio. All of them are like print or ebooks. So last weekend I listened to almost 0 audio. I think I listened to like 20 minutes of audio, but I did a lot of physical reading last weekend. So that's why I was kind of in the mood for this weekend to pick up some physical or digital books as well, something non-audio. So I've talked about this one already in this vlog. I'm not going to mention it again. I am still reading that one. And yes, I did break out the old book sleeves to put these in. And then last night, I had the urge, because I was talking to Bree and Aaron, my co-hosts on the Categorically Romance podcast, and they were talking about like what Harlequin books they're reading, and I'm like, I don't have a lot this month, which is bad, because for March Mystery Madness, kind of the whole point was to read and talk about romantic suspense, and I'm just like reading like cozy mysteries out the yin yang. So I'm like, I really, really need to try and pick up some Harlequin, you know, more romantic suspense, intrigue, love-inspired suspense, those books. So I looked over at my shelves, and this is a fairly new release. It came out in it came out in March of 2022. So the prompts for March Mystery Madness are 2. Like, any way that you can swing 2. So this came out in 2022, so it fits. Also, our main character is a twin, so that kind of fits as well. So this is Snowed In with a Colton by Lisa Childs. I'm only a chapter into it so far. This is a Harlequin romantic suspense. So far, I'm loving it. The reason I picked this one is because of the snowy cover. I was looking at my shelf yesterday, and we got that snow yesterday, and I'm like, I'm just in the mood to read something like... I know most people are hoping for spring, but I'm still in the mood for like snow and cold. I always am. I'm a winter person for sure. So this one is about, I'm just going to read the back of it for you guys. So when let's start again. When organized crime threatens journalist Luca Rossi's life, he assumes a fake identity. Now he's Luke Bishop, keeping to himself at a dude ranch. With a snowstorm and threats on his life closing in, proprietor Aubrey Colton needs his help. Suddenly he's playing cowboy amid deadly conditions and fighting his feelings for her. But can Aubrey and Luca both survive their killer attraction and the bullseye on their backs? And this is the second book in the Coltons of Colorado series. I've not read the first one yet, but these you can kind of jump in and out. So yeah, like I said, I'm only about a chapter into this one, but so far, I mean, Lisa Childs is a great author, and I am really enjoying it. So again, I've got that one in a book sleeve as well. And last but not least, last night, just before I went to bed, I'm like, I should pick up a NetGalley book because I haven't been reading a NetGalley book. So I did. And now this one was released like 4 days ago, but I do have an e-arc and I've seen a lot of people reading this one, and I'm trying to ignore what other people are talking about and I just want to read it. So last night I started, and guys, I started this and I didn't want to put it down. And I'm like, no, you got to put it away because I had to get up and work this morning. So that's a thing. So I started The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, I think. Is that how you say her name? So yeah, so I've got this, an e-arc from NetGalley on my Kindle, and I don't know much about this one. It is a thriller. All I want to tell you, all I know about it going in, it's about a very well-to-do, affluent couple who is going through a bit of a rough patch in their marriage, if you will, and they go to see a therapist. And that's kind of the premise, and I guess secrets are revealed at that point in time, so that's all I really know. But like I said, I started reading it last night and I didn't want to put it down. So that'll tell you something. So I'm really only about 5% of the way through this. It's a longer book, but it was still really good so far. So I am enjoying it. So yeah, so that's everything that I'm reading, guys. Like I said, maybe I'll take you around the library when I go there this afternoon. If I do, you will see that clip next. But if not, I think I'm going to end the vlog off here because like I said, I don't anticipate finishing anything today. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I mean, I've got 3 books on the go and I have to work for 5 hours today. So I don't anticipate finishing anything today. And then I want to go to the library, and then it's going to be a relaxing rest of the day, I think. So anyway, I've got my breakfast to eat. I've got my Starbucks to drink. I will talk to you guys all in the next vlog. So I hope this one was better than last week's. I know for a fact it's longer because I think already at the timestamp I'm at now is probably about the same length. This one clip is about the same length as last week's entire vlog. So it's going to be a longer one, but I think I'm going to try and get this edited so I can get it posted tomorrow. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm rambling. I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.